Resume
Ready.
recording. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Arman Vakili. This is the lovely and insightful and wondrous Narine Tadevosyan joining us today. I hope I didn't butcher your last name. I feel like that was a mispronunciation. Today,
No, it's perfect.
thank you. Awesome. Yes. Okay, here we go. We are talking, the name of the show is Mind on the Money. We're talking about the psychological reasons. And I think that's essentially the theme of the show is how money connects to the mind, how mind connects to the money. Specifically today, we're going to be talking about the reasons why people, at least on the surface,
Mm-hmm.
uh, aren't financially successful. And if we can connect it to other areas of their lives that they can achieve financial success, not just financial success. So whether it's with their health, with their relationships, with their self-love, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
then all the better. Um, do you want to add anything to this for us before I start sharing? Because we had like an entire 8-minute session before I hit record. So
Well, you want me to give you the Cliff Notes version of the 8 minutes? No, but
yeah, sure. Actually,
pretty
let's
much,
kind
yeah.
of walk that for people.
The Cliff Notes version of the last 8 minutes that you guys aren't seeing in this recording is that we are actually the people that get in our own way for our own success. Um, so, and that happens with our own thoughts that we have control over that we think we don't have control over. So when you start learning how to control your own thoughts, and by control, it doesn't mean like shift it just because like you think that's going to help, but honestly work and process through it
Yeah,
for the
and
shift.
I don't want to talk and chew because it's kind of rude. So 1 second, please.
So then I'll just filibuster here.
Thank you for filling in that lull. Um, yeah, one of the things that stood out to me from those 8 minutes is that when you put two type A personality type people without any kind of an organization together, you're bound to have this kind of discourse at the very, very beginning where it's like, I don't know if discourse is even the right word. English is my second language, by the way, for anybody that watches this, for any reason you want to judge me for my lack of grammar. But
He's ready to be judged, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm
He's on the
I'm
platter.
I'm I'm honestly I'm ready for like I just want to see what goes on in the conversations. There was this comment that somebody left on one of my Instagram reels where it's like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
everything looks great except for the wet diaper sitting on your head. And
Oh my God.
like it was about the beanie that I was wearing, and I'm like, okay, I like that's such a bait. Like he just wants me to respond and just like feed into it. And I was like, I'm
But
not
also,
responding.
you're not wearing a beanie.
No, it was I was wearing a beanie that day, but
Now you're
today I'm
not.
not wearing a beanie. That's what she means. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the reasons why people are not succeeding financially with their business, with their career, and psychologically, why? Why? What are these reasons? What is it based on the personality of the person, based on their upbringing? There's a lot of different things, and psychology is just very interesting in that way. There's so many different reasons why people could be doing the things that they're doing or not doing them.
Mm-hmm.
So to help us get the conversation going a little bit, we are going to use our favorite friend, Google.
Google.
Hey.
Ding ding.
First article, and here's actually what I searched for. Reasons why people don't make more money. Interestingly enough, first, look,
Mm-hmm.
it's even a preview with the bullet point and everything. So here we go. They only want the money for the sake of having it. It's very
Yes.
interesting. Money is at the forefront of everything. That's another interesting thing. Doubt, very, very big. They aren't putting in the right work. Very, very, very interesting. And exploration, oof, oof. This one right here, though. Holy shit.
Exploration.
Exploration without commitment.
Yeah. Yeah.
That right
No
there.
direction.
That is, oof, that's strong. So instead of reading that, I'm just going to zoom in right here. There we go. Now we have these in front of us. And as an interesting thing also is when you search this is always very interesting to me. When you search for something, seeing how many results show up, and it's 5.9 billion results for the reasons why people don't make more money. So Very, very large and important topic, and a
You
popular
should,
topic.
yeah, you should definitely save this for us.
For what do you mean? For like the
For
training
us,
the
yeah.
crew? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Sure. I mean, that's why I want to record these things. That's why I tell you to record your sessions. There's a
D
for it, dude.
yes.
It's like instead of me having to try to reiterate this conversation to the group and say, hey, like we had this great talk. It's like, yo, just go watch the talk. This is important. And if people aren't right here, man, right here, it literally says it. If people aren't willing to watch an hour-long video that's dedicated to bringing this topic to the forefront of their mind, trying to help them solve
Mm-hmm.
it, then I don't know what else you want me to do. Like, what else can I do for you?
Well, there's nothing you can ever do for anyone who's not going to do it for themselves.
Amen. Preach. So, number one, and you kind of had an exclamation when I read this. So they only want money for the sake of having it. What do you think that means?
Oh, so many things, Armand. People have no direction about where they want to flow their money. And I'm not going to get into it. I'll let you go get into it. But there's an energy that exists with money.
I
And
want you to
money,
get into these topics. That's why you're here. We
I want
want
you to
you
get
to.
into the technical parts of it, but
Oh, sure,
what
sure.
because I'm not authority on money,
Well, then,
that's that
okay, okay,
that's a
okay.
limiting mindset
Seems
I'm expressing,
well, you
Um,
got licensed with the state of California.
I
You're
did.
officially licensed to manage assets and to provide
I
protect
did.
people and to so you are, in my mind, qualified to have this conversation. Now, just because the fact that you're experiencing imposter syndrome
Yes.
with this new venture that you're taking on doesn't necessarily mean that your insight isn't valuable. You are bringing a different perspective on this world. My entire training has been being around people with their accounts because I started as a
Hmm.
bank teller and just worked my way to where I am now. You've built different things in your life. You've dealt with different levels of uh, challenge, can we say.
Yeah.
Mine is pretty focused in this little area, but you bring a lot more insight. So this is why you're here. This is literally why you're here.
My
Yeah.
insight. I love it. Then that I'm
Nobody
authority
wants
on.
to hear what the fuck I have to say. People don't
Everyone
care.
wants to hear what you have to say,
People don't care.
but definitely I am authority on my own insight for sure. I can definitely say that with confidence.
Yeah.
Um, Money is a tool, and the energy that we use to use that tool
Hmm.
determines whether or not we have a free flow of money.
Sure.
And people who want the money just have the money just to stare at it in their bank account, just to flaunt it, oh, I have money. Like
Hmm.
they're not putting their money in places where it's going to flourish, where it's going to grow, where it's going to benefit.
Mm.
And just having money is not a good enough reason for money to come to you or even to stay,
Hmm.
especially if you don't have money, especially if you don't have money.
Yeah. Why do you want the money?
Yeah.
Why do you want the money? And the thing is, depending on the different phases of your life, that answer is going to be different, right? And it's
Right.
okay at the beginning. I was in survival mode. Like at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, you just want the money because I don't want to feel broke. I don't want to have to worry about paying my bills. There are certain basic elements of survival that every single human being deserves to have, in my opinion. And thankfully, with the internet and living in certain countries that, I mean, it's kind of tough because and I go on tangents, people, so please just get used to this. But I was trying to send money to my sister in Iran, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there is no way to send money to Iran. Like the only way
Mm.
to do it is give it to a person and then they fly to Iran. And when I tell you there's no way, we tried going directly to the bank. We tried depositing into a cryptocurrency wallet. She can't even open up a cryptocurrency wallet or a cryptocurrency account
Wow.
in any way. They don't have access to any of this shit. I can't send any kind of money if I wanted to. The only way that I could do it is by sending a person to actually do that. So, in that kind of an environment, I understand you can say that we don't have access. I get it. But most other countries have access. There are kids
Mm-hmm.
in Nigeria with broken phones that are killing it online simply because of the fact that they say, you know what, we're gonna make content. Like if I can, I'm gonna make content, and YouTube is gonna pay me so I can make content and I can come out of survival mode just based on the little basic tools that I have. So nobody can make that excuse anymore where it's hard for them to make money and come out of survival mode. But once you are out of survival mode, why do you want money, dude? What is the reason?
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish in your life? And having money, just to have money, I mean, it doesn't.
It's not good.
It just doesn't.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not financially healthy. Like, think about it. Your money doesn't want to be stagnant, and it doesn't want to be just stagnant for you. It wants to grow in so many places, and in return, it wants to give you your share.
You know, have you read?
No.
I think. God, come on, why not? There's this book called, I think it's called The Richest Man in Babylon. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't. But I'm eager to read all of these because I'm back into reading again.
You would really like this one. It's actually an easy read. It's a great read. It's like it's a story.
How easy is it, Arman?
So easy that
Narine can read it.
Yeah, Narine can read it.
Narine can read it.
That's good. That's going to replace so easy that a caveman could do it. It's just going to be like so easy that Narine could do it. But so you know, to paraphrase this and not to get off on too. Oh wait. Oh cool. This is us. This is us on Facebook. Okay, here we go.
Hi, yes.
To paraphrase this, the book Richest Man in Babylon, he kind of refers to money, and this is what my takeaway was. He refers to money and talks about money as an entity, like almost as if it's personified. There's like a personality to it. You know, there's like a spirit to it. And he goes very similar to what you just said, and what you said is what reminded me of it is, you know, money doesn't want to be mistreated. And then if you treat money well, it'll treat you in kind. And it's super simplistic. It sounds like so freaking simplistic, but it's like the person who saves $200 a month is probably going to be much further ahead than the person who doesn't save $200 a month.
But the person who invests.
Correct. So to that same token, the person who invests is probably better off than the person who's just saving cash, right? So, and that's the other point in The Richest Man in Babylon, is that I saved and I invested, and my what he refers to it is that your money makes children for you. And when you invest it, it'll make more children for you. And the more you invest, the more it'll have, and the more it'll work for you, and the more it'll do, and the more you'll get.
No, man, children are liability, dude.
Well, maybe children is not the
but
right
so
word.
is money. Is money. But listen, money's a liability too.
Yeah. There was a great conversation that came up a couple of weeks ago. It's like assets eventually become liabilities, and you can make your liabilities eventually become your assets. So it's very interesting, the perspective around this whole thing, which is why we're having this show, man. I think it's really important for people to listen to these things, man. Okay. Because I don't want to like digress on too many things. But so what would we wrap the first point on? What is the one thing that we would want to say? If you only want money for the sake of having it, what is it? Tell me.
Focus your intent on the money. Focus your intent and make sure that it's beneficial to the whole, not just you, because you will be miserable if it's just for you. Trust.
So your reasons for wanting money can start with just you, but they should eventually evolve to the rest of the world and your community at the very least. And a lot of wealthy people, a lot of like 99% of wealthy people, and the 1% is like pretty like miserable in their lives, but it's like 99% of wealthy people they say that once you get your bills and everything else taken care of, once home base is taken care of, eventually the only satisfaction that you get is by helping other people. Like the only contentment, the only fulfillment that you get is by being of service to other people. So it's a very interesting, you know, pattern when you think about it.
As a matter of fact, the laws are put in place to ensure, and it's so weird. I don't personally like it, but I know that this has to happen in order for people to give back to the communities. So the people who are wealthy are given tax breaks for donating,
Oh yeah,
right?
sure. Yeah.
And so it's great that they're given the tax breaks for donating. I just feel like because of the fact that it's not done with the heart in mind first, I want to say, I don't know.
Sure.
Is that
Well, so here's the thing. This is why these conversations are actually, I really find them to be very valuable. I got this from a cartoon that I watched, so people might, you know. It's called Avatar: The Last Airbender, and he has to kill the evil king. Let's call him the Fire Lord, is what he is, and he's a tyrant. He's trying to take over the world, and everybody, every single person around him, including his past spirit lives, have told him that he needs to kill this person. But there's something inside of him that says, I have to find another way. There's a way that I can be definitive. There's a way that I can be decisive without killing this person, because even though everybody else views this person as being this tyrant and this horrible person, he still deserves another chance. And this conversation, like this point, is a really, really powerful. This is like the climax of the show. The whole thing revolves around him finally getting ready to first face this person, but then ultimately, when it comes down to it, are you going to kill him or are you going to find another way? I think that the people that a lot of us view as, doing it incorrectly, or they have too much power, they shouldn't be able to do these things and all of these things, and there's so many different conversations and like programming, conditioning that leads up to a person saying something like that. But when you look at the person, for example, Bill Gates got a lot of heat for the pharmaceutical companies, or like the vaccine, whatever, like all the stuff that he's doing with his laboratory companies, and then he started buying farmland, and then he's doing all of these things, and then people are like, well, what the fuck is he doing? Why is he doing? And I have no idea why he's doing it, and I'm not trying to defend him. What I am trying to say is that you don't know why he's doing it, and his vision might be way bigger than any of us can imagine right now. And maybe he is doing it for the betterment of us as a whole and humanity. If there's even a slight chance of that being a reason, I think there should be a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, instead of everybody wholeheartedly, collectively putting their foot down and saying, nope, they're evil because they have hundreds of billions of dollars. And they say it about Bezos, they say it about Zuckerberg. So I'm
So
just
what you're trying to say? You're trying to play devil's advocate for the wealthy? Is this what your perception is, that they might be not as evil as we perceive, just because the fact that money separates them from us? But I really don't think any of us ever thought Bill Gates was evil until he opened his mouth about wanting to reduce population, right? But that he has his reasons for wanting to do that. I mean, I think we went off on a tangent, which is fine. But we do kind of tend to see rich people as evil, because we know that they can do things with their money that we can't. They have resources. So it's like this, we are fed into the media of what rich and poor are, kind of. But I was referring to rich people being given tax breaks
right.
for helping the
Yeah,
poor.
I was building up to it. I was
Oh,
trying to build up to it.
okay,
But
go ahead.
I go on too many tangents. That's my
All
issue.
right. So you don't mind that I like reel it in sometimes,
No,
right?
no, 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 no. Of
Okay.
course. I mean, please reel it in. Like if I go off on way too far off the deep end, like just be
All
like,
right.
just come back a little bit. Yeah, there you go. It's like I'm the kid with the harness that there's a leash attached to it, and the mom's like, hey, where you go? What are you doing?
You're just dragging me
Yeah, it's like,
everywhere.
get your ass over here. And I'm like, wait, look at it's over there. That's so cool.
All right.
Anyways,
Go on.
um,
Tax breaks for the wealthy.
there's the Bill Gates Foundation. the reason why I got reminded of that is because of the fact that I've just seen, like, I think a lot of news relatively recently around Bill Gates and all this stuff. And he has the Bill Gates Foundation. He has like multiple nonprofits, right? That he's putting, I think there was at one point they said they were putting $50 billion of their assets into it, but it was because they get a giant tax break, $50 billion. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, if we're going to give money to a nonprofit, we would rather be the one that sees where the money goes. There's a lot of debates that can be made that it's like, okay, well, they're probably refunneling money into other things and da da da. I get all that. But there's also the debate that could be made that if I give every time I go to Petco, they ask me, do you want to save a pet and donate to saving a pet? And I give them my $1 or $10 or whatever it is. In their actual contractual bylaws, they say that from the money that I put in there, they're only obligated to put 5% into whatever maybe, if that, into whatever charity that they're trying to help. So look at the lesser of two evils that we're trying to find, right? If you, Narine, become a billionaire, when you become a billionaire, would you like to be able to do things with your money that can help the world and actually where the money went?
I actually did start a nonprofit with my friends in 2011 called Just As For, and I applied for it myself. I did all the paperwork myself. We got approved for the 501c. And as soon as we got approved for it, everybody started backing off. Like there was more work to be done and nobody wanted to do the work. So I was kind of left
What is it?
Alone with it. Just As For, yeah. It's no longer.
Oh, it's not okay.
No, it's no longer active because we stopped. But what I'm trying to say, we did do the nonprofit work for 2 years. We spent out of our own money, and I was not a billionaire. So you don't have to be a billionaire. You don't have to get tax write-offs, and you can be nonprofit. You can be non-profitable and still beneficial by being a benefit corp for benefit corp. Let's not fucking lie to people and say, oh, I'm nonprofit, and then take 95% of the proceeds.
Right.
So that's why I started my nonprofit, because of that very reason, because I did not know where my money was going. And actually it was because of Coney. Remember Coney 2012, how that was happening? Invisible Children came out. They branded the red strings. Everyone went berserk. I think it was like the first time that that kind of marketing was done using a social media platform. And it went viral. And Coney was the new evil. And then everybody forgot like a week later who Coney was, but I didn't. I kept that hashtag strong, like Coney 2012. Where is everybody? Like point is that like the Invisible Children also did release their statements that only 30%, and that's 30% of the proceeds were going to go towards finding Joseph Kony or helping the children or whatnot. It just didn't sit right with me. I was like, what do you mean? Like, why? So that's when I started the nonprofit with my friends.
The whole point is, if you had the billion, so I understand that I understand that you can do it without having a billion. I understand that the intention has to be there and the cause and fighting. I totally understand. But if you had a billion, wouldn't it make it easier?
If I had $1 billion, I would use that $1 billion that I had towards whatever amount was going to go towards a nonprofit. 100% of that amount was going to go towards the nonprofit. The other part of it is going to be funded, is I'm going to pay for people to do their operation. Because guess what? I'm a billionaire and I can afford to do this. So,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
That's exactly
all I'm saying, is that you can be the superhero type person. With money, you will literally be like a superhero.
Yeah. I can be a superhero. I just need the money. I have the mind for it.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's literally the point that I want to make, because it literally connects to this thing. They only want the money for the sake of having money, and we're trying to. It's like, okay, look, why do you want the money?
$50 billion, like that's just part of his assets. Imagine.
Do you know what you could do with $50 billion, dude?
Yes, I can't even fathom actually everything.
Literally, I read somewhere that you can end world hunger. You can end world hunger permanently with $80 billion.
Wow. I'm like
Permanently,
beside myself.
that's insane. That's insane when you think about it, because it's not like you're giving them infinite fish. It's like you're
Yeah.
going there and you're developing the country. And then you're like,
Yes.
all right, now you guys have the infrastructure to feed yourselves. Okay, now you move to the next one. Now you guys
Teach
have
a
the
man to
infrastructure.
fish.
That's it. That shit is real, man.
Or
That's
build a
insane.
pond with your freaking money. Damn it.
That's insane. That's insane. So when you
I
look at
can't.
what's available, what you can do for people, and it's infinite money. Like, I don't believe there is such a thing as, oh, you can't have like the same amount of wealth that the other person have. There's literally 3, 4, 5 people in the top Forbes 100 or whatever that are above 80, 90 billion dollars publicly. These are the people who have public wealth. We're not talking about the people in Saudi Arabia and in the Arab Emirates and all these people that are sheiks that have like trillions of dollars. We're not talking about these people. We're talking about public billionaires. Okay, that shit is real. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just
They're
saying.
buying tigers and bears. Oh my. Like,
So they have
can't.
supercar fleets. They drive
Yeah.
supercars as like their day-to-day driving. Anyways, moving on.
We're not hating. We're just saying, like, that money can benefit the whole world, and we can actually evolve from this mess that we're all in.
Speaking to psychology, mind on the money. If somebody knows somebody who's a trillionaire, let them know. Be
Let
like,
them
hey,
know.
listen, you could literally just go give $1 billion to this country and develop the country. So nothing is gonna happen to you. You're not gonna notice it.
You'll make that billion in a second.
You won't even notice it. Okay, moving on.
Chump change.
Huh?
Chump change.
Chump change, dude. Literally, it's pocket money. It's like, I dropped $1 billion. Could you sorry. Excuse me.
Excuse me. You left your billion on the table.
Yes.
Is this
Sorry.
yours?
Oh, you know what? That's fine. You can keep it.
Right. Thank you, old chap.
Thanks, old chap. You know what? Just because of the fact that you're willing to give it back to me, you deserve to keep this. Money is at the forefront of everything. So now it's kind of like it's like almost like the polar opposite of this. So money is at the forefront of everything. And now, mind you, this is reasons why people don't make more money. And it says money is at the forefront of everything. So what does that mean? We're already at the 30-minute mark, by the way, which means I think we can probably do like another episode at least on this easily.
Or we can pummel through it and let people call us and get more insight.
No, value.
All right, fine. Value.
Sales.
Fine.
Pitch
value.
Pitch
I went into sales mode, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. I get it. I'm there. I'm with you.
Money is at the forefront of everything.
Sure.
I mean, ultimately, let's be honest, we're giving value because we want to be able to provide more value in the form of sales. And, we're willing to do this for people, and we would love your business, of course, but that's neither near nor there. The reason why people fail is because they don't appreciate anything else. Like, the reason why you would come across money is because you're going to probably be doing business with other people. And so people connections are left in the back seat. Nobody wants to make people like that focus on the money, have poor people skills. And therefore, ultimately, let's be honest, we're doing
whoops. Sorry. Crap.
More value in the form of I hate my voice, but it's okay.
What happened? I was trying to reply to this comment right here because we got a comment and I completely ruined it. I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
No, it's fine. You weren't interrupting. I pretty much the same thing that I said. Connections with people are left in the back burner, and people are connected to money. So people should be the forefront.
Yes. I'm just going to go back to this thing right here because I ruined it.
You didn't ruin anything. Don't worry. Stop.
People.
Oh, you think replaying my voice is ruining it? How?
No, I meant by throwing your thought process off.
Oh, you didn't. It's okay.
Goodness gracious.
Great balls of fire.
I love that song. So you think that people should be at the forefront of everything?
Not necessarily should be or shouldn't be, but the reason why, if money's on the forefront, then yeah, you're not going to make money. Because yeah, and if it's people that should be the forefront because money's connected to the people, then yeah, put people before money. Money will follow.
Yeah. PHP has this thing, and it's been adopted from like several other builders prior to the company's existence, but it's kind of like this mantra where and this is coming from the perspective of a theologian, and it's God first, family second, business third. And I think the God first part for a lot of people, they misconstrue it, and this is from what I've gathered, because I've heard it a lot in a lot of different speeches. From what I've gathered is that when you listen to that inner voice that you have that tells you that, my purpose is this, I'm supposed to be at service to people, I'm supposed to be helping other people. And I recognize that there's an entity at the very least, or the universe, whatever you want to call it. There's something much bigger than me. It's not just me. I'm not the center of this universe, but yes, you are, and all this. We can get into all these different debates, right? But when you lead from that, it's kind of like a place of love. So you lead from love, and you take care of your immediate circle first. So whoever that means to you, family doesn't necessarily need to be blood related. But whoever is direct to you, close to you, that you care about, that you think like you feel accountable for, you feel responsible for, got to make sure that they're taken care of. And then you can address business and the development of your financial life, let's say, because it affords the resources to kind of repeat the cycle, but just do it better and bigger, right? You can take care of your community better. You can take care of your family better if you make more money.
Right.
I believe that there's something to this, because I actually had it backwards for a while, and I was trying to put business above family. And this was around the time that we were having the challenges that we were having. And once it came to this almost like an ultimatum in my life, like a fork in the road that said, you have to choose. Which one do you value more? And I said family. Like I would much rather, I can't even fathom turning my back on my family. And so I decided to take care of that side first. Once I did, the business side became easier and the success came easier because I was at peace. The energy that I was putting out into the world was a positive and light energy. So there was a lot of different things that changed because that part was addressed first.
I love it.
Yeah, thank you. But I like, it's making me think, you know what I mean? It's like, I genuinely am very, it's like a curious topic to me. That what is it that changes inside somebody's life when they shift their focus? Because everybody wants to have the money so that they can come out of survival mode and go into prosperity, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But if the money is like the priority, like above literally everything else, and you don't have other priorities, it's like you're almost imbalanced as a person.
Yes, balance. I actually wrote a journal entry this morning regarding the balancing one's heart. But that's another topic, of course. Okay, so our parents did this to us, if you really want to know the truth. Just think about all the moments where money was topic of conversation, whether directly with you, indirectly, you were listening to it, vicariously living through the pains and struggles of your parents or whatnot, hearing them say, you got to get a job that's going to make more money. Like, women are being told to marry rich. It's just, it's a lot of conditioning that happens. And then when we start chasing that, because that's what we're told to do by the people who are taking care of us with the money that they're making in such difficult manners sometimes. Like my mom made a lot of money, but she made it with a lot of like difficulty too, like personal stress and leaving her
Sure.
family to go out to go make the money. So for me, when I started chasing the money, I realized that, yeah, I'm leaving family behind. I'm leaving myself behind first and foremost. And so when knowing the psychology that I know today and having the access to learning about myself, believe it or not, like it's me, I can learn about myself anytime.
Yeah.
But you don't have resources readily available, then you're not going to learn about yourself. It's amazing. And so when I started learning more about myself, I realized that that old way was just not going to cut it for me and my future and health of my family. I had to refocus and be family first as well. Reshift my attention to money. Just try to program my ideas about what money is. It's not for anything else other than just to be comfortable with life and have enough of it to help people. And if you have billions of it, then you better be comfortably helping people.
Yeah, it's options, man. Money
Yeah.
is options. That's all it is. And it's not everything. It should not be everything. Um, it's not that money itself is the root of all evil, but it's the
Mm-mm.
love of money. It's the over prioritization of money when you put it
Mm-hmm.
above everything else and you say that no matter what, I have to, have this and keep this and make more than the other person. And yeah, yeah,
And by the way, I want to add too, I was not very good at making money, or so I thought, because my internal balance, it was off. I wanted
right,
to be with my family. I wanted to share love and joyous
right.
moments. I didn't want to be late to events. I didn't want to stay late for work. I didn't want to be looked upon as this person that was like running after money and just not caring about anybody else, by my own family. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
unfortunately, that happened.
yeah,
That happened, and I needed to recalibrate if I wanted to save my future with my family.
yeah. Thank you for admitting that. um yeah, I think do you think we can move on to the third one?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So doubt reasons why people, this one I think is kind of like the most popular and a lot of people are aware of this one.
Mm-hmm.
um but I think so it's kind of like a nice lead up that they have to this list, that
Mm-hmm.
when you kind of talk about these two and recognize these two, this one makes more sense. And if you have put money at the forefront of everything, it's probably uh, there's a good chance that other areas of your life might be suffering, and that can feed into self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you are making money and you want to graduate to the next level and you don't address these other things, then it feeds into your self-doubt, because the spirit understands that money isn't everything.
Mm-hmm.
It wants you to be fulfilled and balanced and whole as a person. And when you don't do that, you can elicit doubt. But there's also the actual like practical part of it, where it's like, if you don't have the skill set, if you don't have the knowledge, if you don't know how to make more money, and all you've been exposed to is previous conditioning from your family that making money is hard and you have to bust your ass and all these things, and you don't know what leverage is, and you don't know what certain, like, if you don't understand basic concepts, then you're probably also going to be
Yeah.
doubtful as well. You're just not going to believe with your whole heart that you can, because you don't have the tools. So I think that what else do you think kind of can like feed into the
Just
doubt?
to just to add on to what you're saying, the tools are very important, and to kind of like call back on what I said earlier, we were unaware, unaware of
Mm-hmm.
the tool's existence.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah.
sometimes, people are just unaware of the tool's existence. And so they say, oh, I don't know how to do this. And I don't even know how to do this, where to begin from. And so they just never start because it's just overwhelming enough, that feeling to uh, know that you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And you almost don't want to admit it.
Yeah,
Like you almost don't want to
exactly.
admit that you don't know because you feel you're going to be judged or something. And it's it's kind of interesting how so many people would rather continue to not know
Yeah,
than deal with the
find out.
possible embarrassment of asking somebody and like admitting that I don't
Yeah.
know this. It's like, dude, what? Like, how is that even a thing? But
Why is that even a thing? Exactly.
yeah,
Why do people think that they need to know everything from the get-go?
yeah, you're
Why?
not supposed to know everything. It's impossible for you to know everything. Like,
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I, oops, oops. I have not seen Game of Thrones.
Uh,
Yes, please.
Every time I use that line on people, every time it happens to be on a person that's never watched Game of Thrones. So you do know nothing, Jon Snow. That's I use it at the
Of
right
course,
times.
that's relative. That's relative. Depends on what you categorize to be knowing something.
Nothing.
Is it worthy of anyway? But
Or what is nothing, right?
what is nothing and what is something? Who is to say what is more valuable than the other thing? Which feeds into literally what we were just talking about. It's like you can't know everything. It's impossible for you to know everything. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, I have realized that I should probably bring people into my life that know the things that I don't know and
Mm-hmm.
try to
Mm-hmm.
add value to them to want them to actually want to stick around. And that way now I have like my collective network or like the people that are next to me make up for the lack that I have.
You
And,
cultivate your network.
oh,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's kind of foolish to think that you're supposed to know everything.
It's
And
okay to ask people.
yeah, it's
People who know
totally
something
fine.
love to tell you what they know.
Sure.
So feel free to ask people who know something, such as Arman, such as myself. We're like a hub of endless information.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Please
We know nothing though.
don't call me or text me asking for like just I'm not down to
You
listen.
can do that with me.
Yeah, no, she's not down to listen to complaints and all that crap either. If all you want to do is just like complain and
I'm down to shift perspective. So if it starts with a complaint, I'm down to hear the
okay,
complaint and I'm down to shift the perspective because your complaining is getting you nowhere, girl,
you're
boy,
much better than I am.
or
You're a much better person than me. And this is why I think that it's important to have people like Narnia in your life because they're willing to spend the time and energy to actually help you change your perspective. Uh, me,
it's actually
I'm,
very fun for me.
well, I'm glad you found the thing that you enjoy doing. It's very important to enjoy what you do on your day to day.
I agree.
What time is it? What are we even doing? It's 11:50. Um,
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna stop right here. First and foremost, I want to actually read this comment so that in case he actually watches this, Brian left us a comment and he says, "My perspective on number one. So they only want money for the sake of having it. My
Mm-hmm.
perspective on number one is that people do things for the money and not any other purpose. So they quickly give up because they don't enjoy it." So when that and that, I think it applies to number two as well. So it's number one
Mm-hmm.
and number two. That if you're just doing it for the money, you end up kind of losing that motivation because it's not really that exciting. There are certain days when you just feel really, really bad that you don't want to do anything. And if your only reason is for the money, then you're not going to get out of bed or you're not going to do the work or whatever. So it's like there needs to be a little bit, the cause needs to be a little bit bigger than just money. So, what we do at the end of each episode with Mr. Deji, and this is part of our flow, is that we have our final thoughts and then we have tip of the week. So, final thoughts on this topic, Miss Narina.
Wow. Well, final just seems so ending, like final.
Definitive, right?
Definitive. Yeah. It's like,
Final.
okay, so my thoughts about this topic, about money, about acquiring money is don't think about it too much, but have a plan. Literally have a plan and stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about, oh my God, I got to make this. You will make it. You will make that. as soon as your plan is in action.
Okay, very good. I would say my final thoughts are figure out your internal conflicts. Figure out what those things are for you around the topic of money. When you think about being wealthy, what emotion or what feeling does that elicit for you? When you think about being rich, when you think about acquiring wealth, is your immediate response, oh, I can never do that, or oh, those people are this, or though da, da, da. Like, what is it? What is that response? And once you hear it or once you witness it, like, dig deep and try to figure out where that came from. That will give you a lot of insight to who you are, why you do the things that you do, and why you have the views that you have around money. And my life changed when I started doing this for myself. Like, everything changed when I started looking at my reactions to certain things. And it's like, does it freak you out? Does it excite you? Do you already brush it off when somebody tells you could be a millionaire? Like, what are the things? And really, when you figure that out. So that would be my final thought, is figure out your internal conflicts. Tip of the week. Give us a tip.
God. Well, since this is about money, the tip of the week is this. If you are having, or if you're struggling in any which way to figure these things out for yourself, do not hesitate to reach out to somebody who has been there, who is aware, who's knowledgeable, who can help you, guide you, direct you. I mean, do you have time to waste? Really? Like, I hire coaches all the time for everything. It could be small, it could be large. I even have an app that coaches me onto drinking water every day, and it's changed entirely. My body stopped hurting, whatever. Point is,
sure,
hire people or use tools that are going to help propel you, you know, into figuring out your internal conflict, into figuring out how to make a plan. You know, this is what we do. This is why we do what we do, to help everybody, and we expose ourselves so that way we can be tapped into.
Yeah. Agreed. I'll second that. I would say one tip of the week. Because you kind of gave a really good one, and it kind of took it took the ammunition out of my chamber there. But okay, so fine. I'll say this. Look, it takes one step. It takes one action step in the right direction for things to change. It could be DMing Narine. It could be DMing me. It could be looking up the book that we talked about today and reading that. It could be it could be visiting our website and requesting a free consultation. I don't know what the thing is. Oh, the dogs worked on that. I don't know what the thing is. I have no idea what it is, but there is a step that you can take that will take you in the right. Maybe it's talking to the person that's close to you, that you live with, that is completely negative and completely against success, and you doing the thing that you want to do, and just telling them, yo, I'm doing this whether or not you want to help me or not. Maybe that's the thing that you have to do. Maybe there's a really difficult conversation that you're supposed to have, whether it's with somebody else or with yourself. Whatever the thing is, and you probably know what the thing is, but whatever that thing is, do it this week. Like, do that one thing. Do the one thing that you're supposed to do this week, and then join us next week and tell us what happened and how it worked out. Thanks for hanging out, guys. My name is Arman. This is the wonderful Narine. She can be followed at Coach Nar or at Nar Smart on Instagram. Or what's your thing on Facebook? Do you have a Facebook?
I do. It's just my name and last name, because
Narine Tadevosyan.
Tadevosyan.
The dogs have been released. We're perfect timing. We're about to end the episode. You hear? I don't know if you hear people in the back.
I heard them. I heard them.
My sister's
like, eager.
Shut up.
It's probably better just to hear dogs barking.
Cool. Okay. Excellent. They're muffling the shut up over it. You can follow me at officially Arman on all social platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it is. Hit me up if you have any questions. You can also visit nahesh.com or email us at hello@nahesh.com to get any of your questions answered. The beautiful Narine Tadevosyan, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you guys next week, same time, 11 o'clock Pacific Standard on Facebook Live. And then you can obviously review the recording on YouTube at Nahesh. Anything else?
Enjoy your time of day, everyone.
Enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.